everyone, I'm Pearl Fontaine. Welcome to the 2012 edition of Journey to the Throne. We'll be bringing you intimate interviews with the 6 young ladies vying for the Miss Dominica title come February 17. I sat down with each contestant at the Fortune Hotel and asked all the questions that you would want the answers to. Indiana Griffith sat with me at the Fort section of the Fortune Hotel and shared with me her weaknesses and strengths.
Hello, Miss Indiana Griffith. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Hi.
Thank you for joining us today. So, you work for DASPA. Tell us something interesting about your job.
One thing that is very interesting about my job is we get to meet a lot of interesting persons from all walks of life. It's very interactive. We're the custodians of the cargo for our clients, and we all ensure that we give proper service all the time.
What's your title there?
I'm a junior clerk.
Oh, okay. So are you one of those people who get to really interact with
yes,
clients?
Yes, more hands-on.
Oh, okay, okay. So that seems very interesting. What do you find most challenging about your job?
Some of the challenges that I face are sometimes individuals come to receive their cargo and they would like it on time, and they feel that the procedure is long because they have to first come to the port officer, and then the port officer has to locate their item for them, and then they have to go to the custom officer for their items to be inspected. Then they have to go all the way down to the White House to pay for it. That's a long walk. And then afterwards come back to the custom officer and then to the port officer. So it's a challenge in that aspect for them, and they complain a lot. But as a port officer, I try to be friendly and very helpful, especially if they need help in writing out their ASICUDA. That's a custom form which they have to sign, and they have to fill out, put their information in it, write their information. So I try to assist them in any way I can to make the transition smooth.
You are representing the community of Goodwill. So have you lived in Goodwill all of your life?
Yes, I have. I was born and raised in Goodwill. Goodwill has always been home to me. I have had the experience of living elsewhere, but Goodwill is home.
Tell us something about Goodwill. Tell me something about Goodwill. I mean, I only know Goodwill because I drive through there or I drive around that area, but I don't know Goodwill.
Well, Goodwill, everybody knows that we have the hospital at Goodwill, the Princess Margaret Hospital, which a lot of persons go to when they're sick. Then we have the Lindo Park, where a lot of persons go there and watch basketball games, football games, as well as we have the Pottersville Savannah, which is very active, full of activities such as Princess Show, Teenage Pageants, all the shows basically, as a carnival city.
Okay, so are you into sports? Because you mentioned the Lindo Park where people go to view sports.
No, I'm not a sporty person. I'm more of a creative individual. I enjoy writing poetry. I sing in my bathroom. When I was in high school.
As do I.
When I was in high school, I used to be in the choir, but I sing in my bathroom. I like to do fashion design, and I like to bake. It's a stress reliever.
As a Dominican woman, how does your culture fit into the person you are today?
Our culture is one that is vibrant and expressive, and I'm the type of individual, I love to be expressive and vibrant. I like to be creative. That is just my nature, so it fits in very perfectly with me. From our dances to our music, it appeals to me.
What scares you?
I'm afraid of snakes, and I'm afraid of heights, and I'm afraid of the dark sometimes. Sometimes.
You're afraid of heights?
Yeah.
So would you ever fly
Yes, I have traveled before.
Okay.
But to say to climb up on an area like to say to the Mont d'Abloté, you know, I would not do that. That hike, I would not do that.
Okay. What makes you happy?
Seeing someone smile.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely.
Makes me happy, and just being able to, you know, bring peace to somebody, it helps.
Why did you enter this competition?
The Miss Dominica pageant is an opportunity for any young person to market themselves and have an opportunity to further their education if they are successful, as well as it's a way of, you know, continuing our culture. And to me, that appeals to me. I want to be able to contribute some way to Dominica, and this is my contribution by participating in this competition.
If you win, what will your message be?
My message would be about my platform. My platform is creative arts. I chose creative arts to be my platform because I believe creative arts can solve, if not all, some of the social issues which we are facing right now in Dominica, such as crime, violence, and it can help persons, you know, combat fears of public speaking and boost their confidence. And I think a lot of young persons need to engage themselves in the arts to be more of a well-rounded individual, to contribute better to society.
When you say engage in the arts, what are you talking about?
Well, with the arts, you have literary arts, you have performing arts, and you have visual arts. So it's a combination of all. You can be, if you want to be a singer, you want to be a poet, engage in it and get involved in it, you know, give your contribution. There are a lot of talented young persons in Dominica, and they need better avenues for them to not just express themselves, but to use it as an avenue to market themselves for gain of employment, you know, gainful employment.
Nicely said. You mentioned being creative. That seems to be your thing. How are you creative aside from loving poetry and singing in your bathroom?
Well, one way which I showed Dominica that I was creative was on the opening parade. I dressed up in my feathers and I did my eyes. A lot of persons did not understand, but that was me expressing my platform. You know, I wanted to show that I am different and innovative. Our parade carnival is supposed to be something that is vibrant and exciting and colorful, and I wanted to go with that kind of a theme to express that I am a creative individual.
Well, I do know that some people were wondering what that was about. What are your strengths?
I am a people's person. I get along very well with people of all types of personalities. I think that's a strength of mine, and I'm a go-getter. And if I put my mind to something, I go after it with full force, and with God by my side, I can achieve anything.
What are your weaknesses?
Sometimes I can be shy and I get nervous, which just recently happened. But it's perfectly natural, and enter into this competition with my participation in this competition, it already has helped me to combat that fear, that weakness which I have.
So would you say that the National Queen Show has affected your being in a positive way?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
It has helped me to be more resilient when I'm faced with a lot of situations, you know, a lot of challenges that will come when you participate in this competition, because you have to prepare yourself and you have to get a lot of stuff. And most of all, entering this competition, it makes you do a lot of self-introspection. Sometimes you think you come into this competition knowing that you know everything, but you don't, and you have to be willing to listen to others around you to mold you and shape you.
You mentioned that this competition is your contribution to Dominica in some way. Has this been a lifelong goal of yours?
2013, I wanted to take part in teenage pageants. However, I was deterred to do so. And I told myself, when I get to be an adult, I will make that decision if I feel at that time in my life that I want to enter the Miss Dominica pageant. I took 2 years to contemplate whether or not I actually wanted to enter this competition. And I had that gut feeling, just do it. 2012, that is the year, not before, not after, and I'm here.
So you contemplated for 2 years. Did you prepare at all?
Yes, I prepared a lot. I sourced persons to assist me in areas which I feel that I'm weak at, and they were very instrumental in molding and shaping me, and I was determined to bring in my application right after our last Queen show last year, and I probably was the first person to bring in my application, and I said I was going to do it.
That was Indiana Griffith, contestant number 5. Join us again next time for another segment of Journey to the Throne. Thanks for watching.